Listen up, fam. Memorizing is not understanding, right? Memorizing is not knowing. Memorizing is not learning, right? A lot of people like to memorize things. They like to remember quotes. They like to remember what was said word for word, right? They put their minds, they put their intentions in understanding, or as a matter of fact, on repeating or regurgitating the word for word, right? But that's not learning. That's not understanding. Because you know the line, because you know the quote, because you read the paragraph, because you read the book, doesn't necessarily mean that you actually know the information, right? Because to understand is to dive into it. To understand is to read between the lines. To understand is to study it, right? That's a different approach. You're listening with ears that wants to know. When you want to know, you question, right? You start to question yourself. You start to question the moves you've been making up to this point. You start to question everything about the information that is being said, not going based on just how you feel, right? Because there is truth based on how you feel in a lot of ways, right? Some people get offended on certain things. Think about a mind that gets offended. They hear some information, it gets offended, and then what happens? It shuts down. It's no longer interested. It's no longer interested in understanding what is true. It's no longer interested in reading between the lines. It now blocks it, right? It doesn't want to see it, doesn't want to embrace it because it just got offended. Instead of seeing the information for what it is, right? Looking at this moment, boom, it hits you and say, okay, wow, why did I get offended to begin with? Where there is truth in why I got offended. There's something I may need to work on, or there's something I'm holding on to. Why did I get offended? Why am I so attached to these words? Why am I attached to what someone else says? There is truth in that, right? So if you can look at yourself for a second and ask yourself, do I actually understand? Am I looking to know? Am I looking to learn? Or am I just looking to remember? Because memorizing things does not mean you understand it, right? You may can repeat it word for word, but you don't understand it. Also, reacting to what is being said blocks you from ever understanding what is being said, right? Either reacting on feelings, getting, seeing something and getting offended, right? Getting offended. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. What are you doing? Right? What is this here? Then it shuts down the mind. But what if you just observed and listened? What if you just watched things play out? What if you just saw things for what it actually is and not what you wish it was? What if you look to understand why a mind is thinking the way that it's thinking, right? What is driving someone's actions? What is driving someone's moves? What is driving someone's just mentality, right? What is driving somebody? What is moving somebody? To understand that, you can't judge it. You can't assume, right? You got to look to understand it. But if you're too busy reacting to what's good, bad, right, or wrong, saying this is the way, these are my beliefs, then you're never giving yourself the opportunity to understand what is true, right? You're blocking yourself. You're not learning how to think. You're just being told what to think. You're just going based on what you've heard, what feels the most comfortable for you. But are you willing to see things for what it actually is, right? And question it and look to understand it, not just memorize it, not just react to it, not just get offended by it, not just judge it, but look to study it, to see it, to understand it in a real way. And this is something you can't teach, right? If someone's not interested, you can't teach somebody to be interested. Some people are already stuck to their ways. So many people are loyal. And I said this in my awareness journal. If you're not signed up to my awareness journal, the link is in my bio on my Instagram. It's content that I do not post on social media. I go deeper into these things for those who are interested. I said this in my awareness journal. So many people are loyal and committed to their misery. So many people are loyal and committed to their misery that they cannot even see what is true because they're not interested in what is true, right? Anything that alters one's position, that one can get clear, one's problem can be solved. And what it means to solve a problem means total transformation, right? Because the end is the beginning. And if I don't want to put an end to something that brings me the most pleasure, the most comfort, the most security, then I will not allow myself to solve this problem no matter how miserable I claim to be. So many people are so loyal and committed to their misery. They've created all these stories that they live by, right? These stories about themselves, these stories to why their current position makes the most sense, right? And if they were to see things from a totally different perspective, then their current position will be altered, will be changed, will be destroyed. Their current position will be destroyed psychologically, physically, emotionally, habits, patterns, relationships, right? This is why there's people who are committed and loyal to their own misery. Because that means if I can go all in on this, I am protecting something. I can stay the same in one area of life. Is this making sense, fam? Is this making sense? If I'm afraid to change my known, or if I'm afraid to put an ending to a known, then I would not want to address a problem. I would not want to understand what is true. I would not want to dive into it. I would just listen without the responsibility to do. Does this make sense? I would just listen without the responsibility to do. Because what it means is, if I can just memorize the words, then I can say, yeah, I'm learning, I'm understanding, right? If I react to certain things, but then I ignore certain other things. Oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Oh, that made me feel good. That was inspiring. That was motivating. I just learned. But in actuality, people's radars, the way people view information is they're ignoring what they need to hear and embracing what they want to see. People are ignoring what they need to hear and embracing what they want to see, looking for reassuring beliefs instead of life-altering truths, right? Because the truth is dangerous, right? The truth is polarizing. The truth will destroy everything you've built with a lost mind, right? If I built an entire life on top of this lost and confused mind, the moment I become clear, everything changes, right? Everything changes the moment I become clear. Everything changes the moment I see what is. Now the battle, right? The battle for most people is they see what is, and if I'm afraid to end the known or a changing of a known, then I am going to alter what I see. No, that can't really be it. No, it's got to be something else. No, I don't know what you're saying. I don't want to listen to this. Again, because it's fighting hard to stay the same, right? So what's my point? When people say they want change, yes, many people claim to want change, but very few want transformation. Very few want the root cause to the problems of the mind. Very few want a life-altering perspective, because that means the ending of the known or the changing of a known, right? So if I do not want to truly understand, then I want to memorize, because memorizing something, right, means I can listen without the responsibility to do. Is this making any sense, fam? Because I know I'm jumping around, but all of this is connected. All of this is connected to why one chooses to stay in the same place. Give me some fire emojis if you're following on to this, fam. Give me some fire emojis. It makes sense why one will listen to the words without the responsibility to do. Why one will listen to memorize, not listen to understand, right? Because if I understand it, then everything changes. If I understand it, maybe my relationships change. If I understand it, maybe my current position will change. If I understand it, I have now the responsibility to do it, and I can't unsee it. So this is why many people are loyal and committed to their misery, right? People want to believe, they don't want to know. People want to feel, they don't want to see, right? Because knowing and seeing means responsibility. And I go like this because it's instant. Once I see it, I'm like, holy shit, I can't unsee it. And then there's instant transformation, right? But do I want it instant? Do I want it instant if I'm afraid to change the known or I'm afraid to end the known? Do I want instant transformation? Well, the answer is no, right? Because it'll put me in a place where it will be extremely uncomfortable, right? And it will be it's intense, right? It's intense. The truth is intense when you've been living a lie. The truth is intense when you've been living within these illusions that you've created and accepted within yourself. And illusions comes in many different forms, in your fears, in beliefs, in your outlook on life, everything about you, right? That, hey, this is what I hope it is. This is what I thought it was. This is what I wish it is, right? Versus what it actually is, which then destroys all of that. It destroys all of the beliefs. It destroys all of the fears. It destroys all of that, which instantly puts you in the new. And now within this new, right, there's total transformation. It's the ending of what you thought it was. Now you're seeing what is, and you have to embrace that. And a lot of sadness comes from the ending of an illusion. I know this can be confusing for many people, but I wanted to get real technical on this. We're diving into it just for the most interested, whoever's on here that is interested at all, right? Let's put all the motivational stuff to the side. Let's put all the inspiring stuff to the side. All this is inspiring when you're interested. Let's put all the rah-rah things for the side for the moment and really dive into what's going on. Where we can look at ourselves like, man, yeah, I can memorize a quote. You are the problem and you are the solution. And then say, I understand it. Right? But do you really understand what that means? You are the problem and you are the solution to this problem. Now, one can say, I know the quote. I memorize the quote. I understand the quote. Right? But do I really understand? Right? Do I really see between the lines? Do I see that for myself? Because the mind won't understand until the mind sees it for itself. Remember that. The mind won't fully understand until the mind sees it for itself. It can shake its head up and down. It can be like, that's right, thumbs up, but it won't understand until it sees it for itself. Right? Give me some fire emojis, fam. Give me some fire emojis if you are feeling this morning. Let me know. First of all, I also want the fire emoji so I can see who's on here as well. I don't know if people think like this. Give me some fire emojis in the comments below, fam. I'm watching. I'm seeing who's on here. Let me see who's feeling this morning. We're talking about truly understanding. We're talking about listening with the mind that is curious. We're talking about diving into it for ourselves. We're talking about not just memorizing words, but really understanding what is being said. We're talking about breaking away from the illusions that you tell yourself, breaking away from the stories you tell yourself, breaking away from these fears that you created that come from somewhere. Your fears come from somewhere. It's talking to you. It's telling you something. You may be unprepared in a certain area. You may be not ready in a certain area. But why people say, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough at this moment, I'm not, they feel offended by something, but there is truth in that. There is so much truth in that if you were just to study it, observe it, right, you will see, oh shit, I am the problem and I am the solution to this problem. These are things that we overlook, right? These are things that we just don't see, right? We're not really interested. These are things that we just bypass. Oh, why do I feel this way? And then we hold on to what we wish it was, what we hope it to be, what we wish was true. Right? So then we live our lives in confusion, never understanding what is because we're focused on what we wish it was. Listen up, fam. I love you guys. That's what I got for you guys today. If you found this valuable, go check out my Patreon. Link is in my bio. Only $5 a month. You can sign up to my daily awareness journal. only for those who truly want to understand what is true about themselves, daily inspiration, daily awareness, all that great stuff. We got a lot of people on there so far. So go sign up to that. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Have a solid one. Peace.